Welcome to Let's Talk Red Hill, your source for the latest updates and insights on the Navy's progress at the Red Hill Bulk Fuel Storage Facility. This podcast is dedicated to keeping you informed, addressing your concerns, and sharing progress straight from the experts leading the way.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rear Admiral Mark Williams, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Red Hill. Today, we'll discuss two essential consent orders guiding the Navy's actions at Red Hill: the 2015 Administrative Order on Consent and the 2023 Administrative Consent Order. Joining us today is Josh, who is the administrator for the Navy's consent orders. We're glad to have you here, Josh. Why don't you tell everybody a little about yourself and what you do here at the task force?
My name is Josh Stout, and I've been with the Navy since 2020 working on Red Hill, primarily in project and program management. And currently I'm with the Closure Task Force in the Environmental Directorate, working as the administrator on the consent orders.
Okay. So let's start with the 2015 Administrative Order on Consent. Can you explain what are the key objectives of that order are?
Yes. So the 2015 AOC, I'll say several different acronyms, so hopefully the audience can understand what I'm saying. But the 2015 Administrative Order on Consent, the AOC, came about as a result of the spill in 2014 at Red Hill. And it's an agreement between the Navy, the Defense Logistics Agency, or DLA, the EPA, and the Hawaii Department of Health. And the main focus of that was to improve the facility, to keep it operational. And so things such as upgrading the tanks to secondary containment and monitoring the groundwater. However, since the Secretary of Defense ordered the closing of the facility in 2022, the primary focus is on those groundwater monitoring efforts.
Okay, so that's the 2015. So what's changed, I guess, since we began the implementation of the 2023 Administrative Consent Order, or the ACO?
Yes, sir. So that's a good question. So the main difference is those efforts that are continuing to go on under the 2015 AOC. So right now the Navy is working on three different models: the groundwater flow model, the VADOS zone model, and the contaminant fate and transport model. And we're working with those very closely in coordination with EPA, DOH, as well as other stakeholders like the University of Hawaii. And in September of this past year, we recently submitted our latest version of that to EPA and DOH for their review. And in addition to that, we're also continuing to add to our extensive monitoring well network. Since 2021, we've drilled 24 additional monitoring wells, and that creates a total of 44 that we are sampling out of.
So if I hear you right, what's left for the 2015, the items left for the 2015 AOC is really groundwater flow modeling and groundwater monitoring network?
That's correct, yes.
So let's move to the 2023 ACO. Again, the acronyms here are ACO, AOC, but the 2023 ACO, what's the basis of that? And can you explain kind of what's the gist of what needs to be accomplished underneath that consent order?
Sure. So unlike the 2015 AOC, the 2023 ACO is just between the Navy, the EPA, and DLA. And its main focus was to defuel the facility and close the facility, as well as environmental restoration, and then the managing of the Joint Base Drinking Water System. So across the AOC, we have multiple different levels of effort that are going on. And so I'd really encourage the audience to go to the Red Hill website that the Navy has and the ACO webpage, and they can see all of the different projects that we've completed since 2023 when the ACO began, as well as those things that we currently have underway. Additional things that they may be able to find there is like our monthly progress report, where we provide a more detailed dive into those projects that are currently ongoing. And then we also have a frequently asked questions section where the audience may be able to find answers to those questions that other people have already asked.
Okay, so you've talked about the 2015 AOC, the 2023 ACO, and then you mentioned the emergency order. How does the Hawaii Department of Health's emergency order play with these other two documents?
Yes, so the Hawaii's emergency order is just between the Navy and the Hawaii Department of Health, and it sets it's strictly the guidelines for defueling and permanently closing the facility.
Okay, and are all these documents legally binding?
Absolutely, yes. They are legally binding, and it takes a lot of coordination between the EPA, DOH, and Navy to ensure that all of those orders are tracking appropriately and that the expectations are being met.
God, I think that accountability should be reassuring to the public. And with all three of these documents in place, it sounds like we're seeing an effort to balance the expedient, hey, let's get it closed with the need to be thorough as we go through this process.
Yes, sir. That's the goal. We want to be able to safely close the facility and protect the drinking water.
So you mentioned, where the public can find those documents. I don't know if is the emergency order, the 2015 consent AOC, and the 2023 they're all there out on the website.
Yes, they can find all of the information that they're looking for on our Red Hill website, as well as the NCTF website.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you for joining us, Josh, to give us a clearer picture about how the 2015 AOC and the 2023 ACO guide us in our efforts to bring Red Hill to a close.
Thank you for having me.
To our audience, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Let's Talk Red Hill.
Mahalo for listening to Let's Talk Red Hill. Stay tuned for our next episode, and be sure to subscribe to stay up to date. Be sure to download the mobile app by searching NCTF Red Hill in the Apple Store or Google Play.